there's just something special about Tim Burton, something special that we shouldn't take for granted at all, because this guy was a fucking genius. He's up there with Da Vinci. He's up there with Isaac Newton. No, I'm just kidding, but like the amount of creativity this guy had was fucking crazy. I was watching Willy Wonka and or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the OG version, the other day, and the attention to detail he had was crazy. Creating his own world, his own city in his mind, the whole vibe along with the city. He's creating that. He created the style for everything, that goth theme. And he didn't just do that with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. He also did that with Nightmare Before Christmas, Beetlejuice, Corpse's Bride, Edward Scissorhands, so much more. He did that with all of his movies. Create characters, iconic movies, settings, his own fantasy world out of his mind. That was just so magical. Like, what I'm talking about is, like, remember the Charlie and Chocolate Factory, that house, the details in that house, the way that house looked like, the fences, that whole fantasy world. That's what I'm talking about, the creativity this guy had. Creating Jack Skellington, creating all the characters in that movie, creating all the characters in the Corpse's Bride, those just weird gothic fantasy world and fantasy characters. It takes a lot of creativity to create something like that. And then putting it all together in a film for us, that's just something that we can enjoy for the end of time. Till the end of time, we're going to be enjoying Tim Burton movies. And he's still creating movies. He just got set up on a new show. I'm not like a TV show guy. There's Jenny Ortega in it, so I'm not really too appealed to it. But Tim Burton's not my favorite director of all time. Tarantino, Scorsese, Burton. I gotta get Burton in there. Of course, just how special he is. And you, as you get older, you learn to respect the art form more. As a kid, I didn't realize it until I rewatched Corpse's Bride a few months ago. But I understand the guy. If you don't like him, or if you have any appeal to watch any of his movies, like, certainly I don't. I haven't watched all of Tim Burton's films because just not all of them are made for me. Like, I'm not gonna watch Alice in Wonderland. Obviously, I do think if I was a kid, though, watching Alice in Wonderland would be fucking magical. These days, though, am I right? Like 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, they're not going back watching a Tim Burton movie. Actually, they could. But there are select films that you need to watch. How old you are, I don't care. That you just gotta see what this guy was making. The rest, take it as you like it, or whatever your preferences are. But I think these movies, like, you should watch for sure. My personal recommendations: Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Corpse's Bride, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Beetlejuice, Sleepy Hollow, and Pee-wee's Big Adventure. They're all really creative movies, good movies, and yeah, you'll get a kick out of all of them for sure. And all I'm asking, just enjoy some of his movies, put some respect on it, because I do feel like he's a little underappreciated. No, Tim Burton's definitely a little underappreciated for sure. If there are any like big Wes Anderson fans in the YouTube watching the video right now, please comment, compare the two. Like, honestly, I'm just getting into Wes Anderson. I gotta watch him his films like Fantastic Mr. Fox just to compare. Because they're both making some stop motion films. I gotta see who's the greater out of the two. Right now, I got my money on Tim Burton, but I still haven't watched the Fantastic Mr. Fox. But I heard it's fucking good, and that would break my heart if Tim Burton got dethroned by. But yeah, there's just something special, and there's something just unique about all of Tim Burton's movies, or at least from the ones that I've seen. I haven't seen Frankenweenie though. Frankenweenie looks pretty damn good. It kind of reminds me a little bit of The Nightmare Before Christmas while looking at it, but honestly, I don't think it's going to be as memorable, and it just seems like a fun movie to watch. But The Nightmare Before Christmas, for me, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a stop motion film. It's relatively short, but the music plays a very, very big role in a lot of Tim Burton movies. Because if you don't know this, he uses his, like, I don't know if this is actually his best friend, but I'll just call him his best friend, Danny Elfman. Another kind of crazy looking guy, but he makes all the movies, and they're on par together. These two are on par. Every movie, Danny Elfman's doing the music and making it that more magical and that more special. Because Danny Elfman is a genius in itself. But when you got the two working I'm talking too fast. The two working together, it's a combination of just expertise and perfection. But aside from the music, the fucking characters, Jack Skellington, is he not one of the most memorable Disney characters of all time? Like, you see that motherfucker everywhere. Well, at least you did. I don't know about these days, but the guy's in Fortnite. And all of the characters, not just Jack Skellington, because each of the characters are unique in each of the characters, and they're not like some robot produced. No, it's Tim Burton and his team probably worked hard. We're being very creative, and each one of these characters definitely has a backstory in its own way, kind of a soul in Tim Burton's team's mind, because they created all of these characters by hand. That just makes them more special. It's not some bullshit ass film characters are just meaningless, soulless, don't have any purpose, and just they're kind of just there. No, these characters, all of the characters in the movie are fucking good. That's why I like The Nightmare Before Christmas. The music, the characters, and just kind of the storyline, the memories I have in it. It kind of sucks. It kind of doesn't suck. I gotta respect his opinion. Of course, the guy still has an amazing resume. But in my personal opinion, if he did like a horror movie or a crime film or something like that, like rated R, 18 plus, and not in the ways that you're probably thinking of. I'm talking about, maybe like a Goodfellas, maybe some killing, a horror movie. If Tim Burton did one of those, I feel like it'd be great. And maybe he should experiment with something like that. Maybe he will experiment with something like that down the line, because like I said, he's still 60. He probably has 10 more years of this, 20 more years maybe. Nah, 10 more years is good enough. But yeah, we've never gotten a rated R film from him, and it would be cool to see him working on something a little bit more targeted for a more mature audience. I haven't seen Sweeney Todd. That's the one Tim Burton movie that I kind of want to see that I haven't seen. Maybe Alice in Wonderland one day if I have a daughter or something. But other than that, yeah, that pretty much wraps this video up. I love the guy. I love the guy. This is kind of my tribute to him, making a video on him. It's just something I wanted to talk about, get off my chest. Tim Burton's one of the greats for sure, and yeah, won't ever forget about him. When I start my director's journey, I definitely want to meet him one day and tell him he's one of my big inspirations. Or maybe when I win my first Oscar, I'll be up on the stage and I'll be like, oh yeah, Tim Burton, Tarantino, some of my inspirations from cinema. Go watch my old Tim Burton video or something like that on the stage after winning my first Oscar. But hopefully I get to just see him one day when I start my cinema career. But definitely he plays a huge inspiration for me, and Tim Burton's just one of those guys that they don't just come along and come and go. He's definitely one of a kind, and I gotta pay my respect, and that's why I just want to make a video about him out of passion. I love every one of you guys. Please subscribe, please.